My father bought a pickup truck. It was, after all, a farm, and farms have pickups. That left Mother to drive the pickup during the day, an arrangement that would crash and burn over time. Father took the Cadillac to work. Yep, work, because you can't make money owning a farm. Cadillac, you may ask? Well, moving from the city to the country took some time to adjust. Cadillacs are just hard to walk away from. Father and the pickup entered a tortured relationship, starting with backing over the lawnmower. He had the door open at the time, only to have it catch on a tree and almost shear the door off the truck. The final insult was a near miss with the dog. Mother was not happy driving the pickup in her nice dress and pearls, so Mother insisted Father drive the pickup to work. So Father relented and adopted the pickup. Then he bought her off with a brand new mile-long Lincoln Continental four-door sedan with suicide doors. The doors open in the opposite direction. From a normal car, it's hard to explain, just Google it. Which she had painted a custom color, bright canary yellow, actually. Mother loved yellow and yellow mums. What that has to do with the story, I have no idea, but I thought I'd throw it in there. Okay, so the locals went berserk. There goes the rich lady. Interesting sidestep, Mom. Farm truck to Liberace's limo. Then, Father managed to start a brush fire, one which required a full response from the volunteer fire department. Half the goddamn town showed up. To be honest, I'm sure the big turnout was probably just an excuse to check out the new farm. The part Mom did get right, per established rural protocol, was having coffee ready for the firemen when they were done. Some firemen actually brought their wives. Honey, would you like to go to a brush fire? They were impressed, and she redeemed herself in the eyes of the local, as they laughed under their breath at Father, the city farmer. What a fucking mess. From the very start, it was devastation punctuated by bad news. It was 4th grade, and a certain girl had caught my attention. It was my understanding that at Valentine's Day, boys were supposed to give candy and or flowers to the girl they liked. Obviously, flowers were out of the question from my 4th grade perspective. Thinking long and hard about it, I opted for a box of candy from the drugstore. It was about the size of a pie plate and cost $1.25. I almost went for the one at $1.50, kind of up the ante and make it a bigger deal. Anyway, I had to give it to her. Janet at school. Going to her house was not going to happen. She lived about 3 miles south of town, and I didn't drive. Her farm had a really long gravel driveway with numerous dogs about. If I rode my bike, I'd have to run the gauntlet under the observation of numerous windows from the house. What if she wasn't home? Would I have to give the Valentine to whoever answered the door? What if it was her brother? What would I say? It was abundantly clear that none of this shit was going to happen in a million years. School was the answer. Okay, I was supposed to give it to her first thing before class. Sorry again, more unfortunate phrasing. What if she wasn't in class? What if some other kid was about to make the same move? I decided I'd wait till lunch. I'd have more time to maneuver. Oh, crap, was I supposed to sit with her at lunch? Who else would be there watching? No way, I'd wait till after class. On our way out the door, that was the answer. I was a genius. The bell rang, and everyone started to rush the door and pile out of the classroom. I followed Janet closely and edged up next to her, then handed her the box of candy. She made eye contact with me. Time stood still. Then she said with a snide look, "I don't want that." I did not see that coming. At the moment, the phrase buzzkill was used for the first time in human history. I was crushed, and then shorter by an inch or two. What had I done wrong? Whatever it was, I sure as hell was not going to do that bullshit again. The sheer amount of emotional energy expended. Geez, I need to sleep for a couple weeks. I got home after school and Mom asked, "How was your day?" Like many other guys, I have no clue how to read females. On a nice summer day, a girl from a neighboring farm stopped by. "What's going on?" she asked. Of course, I responded in typical doofus fashion, "What do you want?" Christ on a crutch, looking back, I cringe at the mere idea that I said that. Amy was cute, lively, and she'd soon become a cheerleader. After a few minutes, she asked, "Aren't you going to get me something to drink?" I'm like, "Why do you need a drink?" "I don't get a drink for my best buddy Ronnie when he comes over." What a schmuck I was. After about 5 minutes of pointless small talk, she asked, "Aren't you going to show me around your barn?" I'm like, who asks for a barn tour? At this point, if time travel were possible, I'd go back and bitch slap myself. God damn it, what's wrong with you, you fucking moron? It's still reasonably difficult to put this into writing. I will say I'm quite sure she wasn't looking for sex, a kiss maybe, and me, total dumb male, didn't get it. I did return the favor and go to her house a week or so later. I'm not sure if that was because of my recent mental collapse or not. At that time, her mother was hanging laundry in the backyard, which I was apparently observing since Amy rather abruptly asked, "Why are you looking at my underwear?" Oh, shit, I was speechless and thunderstruck, feeling like such a complete dolt. Then, in my moment of terror, she laughed, as did her mother. God damn it, does anybody ever master this boy-girl thing? No doubt I should not be allowed to leave the house. Then there were the house parties, where someone asked a group of fellow junior high classmates to the basement of another classmate's house. We all dressed up, reeking of perfume and cologne. The basement was dimly lit, at least as dim as the host's parents would allow, and a record player. All the girls in one corner and the boys in another. The host played the records, assisted by their best friend. I clearly remember the girls whispering amongst themselves, describing the merits of one boy versus another. Of course, the two groups were trying to figure out what was supposed to come next. Someone finally asked someone to dance, and that was enough to break the impasse. It was interesting to see how, by some magic, that the group loosely arranged themselves into couples. We were actually having a good time. Then the moment came no one had anticipated: alcohol. I should have known. I wouldn't make that mistake again. One of the guys produced a hip flask with nasty old raspberry sloe gin. We passed it around. Don't tell anyone. Well, who am I going to tell? Oh, like everyone at school, of course. Yeah, we got really wasted at Caroline's party. No shit? Oh, yeah, it was big. Everybody was messing around. Oh, like messing around? We were all so stupid. The girls did not participate, lest they be branded as being slutty. Of course, the guys were just the opposite. It was a badge of honor to be seen as a hard-drinking real man. We drank from the same flask, rationalizing that alcohol kept it germ-free. Yeah, I'm good with that. All the guys were pretending that they were seasoned drinkers and started off coming off as semi-drunk. As the slow songs continued to play, things got more serious. Witching hour was perhaps 11 o'clock. The end goal was near, slow dancing and a kiss, more of a peck on the cheek than a tongue down the throat job. All of this to non-stop playing of Little Anthony and the Imperials going out of my head. 2 minutes and 31 seconds. Too bad the song lasted less than 3 minutes back then. 10 minutes would be perfect. Guy can get into a lot of trouble in 10 minutes. Yet we played it over and over and over again. It didn't give you much time to make your big move. Worst was the awful silence when someone had to go to the record player and move the needle. Scratch. You had to stand there like a fucking dope with nothing to say. No clever jokes, nothing. Just a chance to stand there and look and see how your shoes were doing. Any moves on my part were more or less planned on advice from my friend Brad. He was a year older and full of sage advice due to being held back in school for a year. So how do I do that again? Above all, he stressed not to get too excited. Excited how? And he said, well, feeling a girl's body close for the first time, with her head on your shoulder, smelling her perfume, might make you excited. You excited? Oh, what do you mean? Oh, shit. That's not good. What do I do? Not much you can do. But what if she feels it? Good question. I'm not sure. What do you mean you're not sure? This is all from my older brother. Oh, perfect. Second-hand advice. He did get a girl in trouble. No shit. That means they actually did it? Big time. I picked Judy to dance with. How I managed to do that escapes me. I was actually quite taken by her. So we went to the dance area and we assumed the dancing position. She held me real tight, per Brad's prediction. I looked at her and guided her face to mine with my hand. Well, it was a first kiss. Holy shit, Brad's brother was right. Oh, Christ, now what? Saved by the Bell, the music stopped. The basement lights came on at 11 p.m., a total mixed blessing. The girls scattered like pigeons. The next thing I remember, I was home in bed. What now? Does this mean we got to get married? Is this love? Do I have to call her? What if she wants to do it? My brain was going 100 miles an hour. Regardless, I was going to have to give Brad a report.